business. Let's stop getting upset about that. Let's stop all of this. It's God's house. It's God's God. No. The pastor's name is on the lease. Okay? Real talk. Simplistic. The pastor's name is on that lease. So the pastor is responsible. So the pastor needs to find ways. Wait a minute. We said we put our money in the building. God's hands touch the money. Everything's supposed to be done. Isn't that what's said? Haven't you heard it? God's going to take care of this. Y'all don't have to do what God. As long as I'm obedient to God, I know God's going to. So why are you harping on it then? God's going to take care of it. God got this. And then the next thing you know, fussed them out, called them everything but a child of God. Then come on, everybody, let's pray. I didn't mean to be like this on y'all. I had to get on you. My check, my bank book is low. I done came out of my pocket. I have some disrespectful things to say, but I'm not going to say them. The building is a business. A lot of people, hey, come on now, God told me. Then why did it fail? If the people were not giving, come on now, I'm going to call it on the floor. If the people were not giving and God said, guess what? It's still supposed to work. No matter, come on now, we say this in faith. God said it's going to happen. I don't care what you say. Well, then why did the doors close? The building is a business. So stop going to the business and begin, since you are the church, come on now, since you are the body of Christ, how about Holy Spirit lead and guide you now? How about that? Instead of going to the business. I won't call it the building anymore. I'm going to now call it the business. Okay? So everybody, you on my Facebook, when I say anything, I will say, hey, please, when you go to the business on the 31st, hashtag building, then you will understand what I'm going to the business. Because when we go to the business, on New Year's, we going to take an offering, right? I mean, you had to pay for the lights, for the lights to come. Huh? You don't get it. We complain. We get upset. We just go crazy. You want to ask, hey, I'll tell you right now, you pose this question on any radio station right now, you're going to get some nasty things about people saying, I want to know where my money went. I asked the pastor about it, and the pastor wouldn't answer me. Because you chose the business. When we choose God, that's the thing about when you leave the building, they act like you turned on God. No, I love to hear his voice. I love to speak with him. I love when he shuts it all down. I work for hours and hear his voice, and when I come out, I'm like, how did I take this pipe off of, what car are we on? Wait, hold on. What's going on? Because I've been doing it so long that it's just doing it, but I hear God. We have to stop thinking that man's business will give us God. Because it's just man's business. That's all it is. We won't. We are upset. We are complaining within ourselves. We are talking to ourselves about this. We get hot. We get upset. I don't want to do this no more. You're not going to keep doing this to me. I'm tired. What the pastor say? Then leave. Man, you leave, you're going to hell. Church hopping. You ain't faithful anyway. You won't wait on God. Then you don't. Come on now. We won't just stop and get off the hamster wheel. We just get back on it and we run around. We run around. I did it. My wife was like, do I get off? I was like, no, God's going to do it. God, I'm going to continue to give you my confession. I know God's going to do it. God is faithful. I've seen him work. Nobody's telling me. I've seen God do it. I've seen it. And guess what? God may have done it, but the people were less than. Do you understand? They were still human. They were still human. But because we believe in God, we won't accept them for being human. We want to keep saying, because guess what? They come off as, hey, we're better than God. God is with us, and you need to listen to what we're saying. I heard it. Why is it when I tell you, you say, I got to go to God. God told me, so you need it. But the problem is this. If your track record not looking too good, you're not going to be saying too much to me, and I know that you don't want to do right. So I need to go to the Father. I don't need to be sitting up in here and you running me around ragged like I'm crazy. I've told you too many of us we are entertaining pastors' OCD. We're not doing what God told us to do. We're not dealing with God. We're dealing with the pastor. The pastor is the one that wants to run around and run till they ragged and then tell you, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm not going to ask you to do nothing I wouldn't do. Oh, they say that, they got you. Y'all better start getting on these words. Y'all better start listening to what these pastors are saying to you. And then I tell you what, you won't be so quick to run around like a chicken with your head cut off. The church building is a business. We have to accept it. Well, Elder Kirk, can you make it a little plain for me? Okay. Bernie Sanders said a man or woman should not work 40 hours a week and not be able to pay their bills. When Hillary Clinton was running against him, she said, that's not realistic. I'm about big business. Shut up and die. And I'm talking about any person that was clapping and saying what Bernie is doing is right. I love her. That's right. I work 40 hours. I am supposed to be able to live. Hillary said, I'm not worried about you. And she said, that's not realistic. She never said these words. Okay? She never said these words, but it was pretty much, I don't care if you can't make it or not. I'm concerned about imports and exports. Just like old dirty Trump. I am concerned about big business. And he brought Reaganomics back. The trickle down didn't work back then. The trickle down's not going to work now. I'm tired of hearing people saying the same thing. Oh, he's doing this, and it's not, the middle class are not going to. We already know that. We saw that from the past. They brought it back. And as I said before, and Elder Kirk will continue to say, and do not sit here, get mad with the Republicans, and then put Democrats in. Hamster wheel, anyone? Hamster wheel? I've seen the hamster wheel since 1989 when I started voting. Or 88, I'm sorry. Elder Kirk turned 18 in 88. So when I started, and I think it was 89 when I first voted, it's a hamster wheel. I've been looking at a hamster wheel since, good Lord. It's a hamster wheel. People, y'all will not wake up and understand that you want to get off the hamster wheel. Nothing going to happen to you. Nothing going to change. One thing will change, your relationship with God. You'll be more crisp. You'll be able to hear his voice. You won't need the prophet. You won't need the apostle. You won't need the pastor. I'm pretty sure for a lot of us, we had the gift. Guess what? The gift has run its course. I need God. The gift was never meant to be the substitution for God. We believe and we just go with the gift and we stop at the gift and we won't go no further because you know what the gift says to us? You're not mature enough. You don't really understand God. I went to seminary. You didn't. I need to teach you how to really, truly get to God. Why? Because you know all the names and there's probably even more names. We will not accept that we are worthy to be in the midst of God because the business, #building, tells us that we need them to get to God. We need them to discipline us. We need them to teach us morals. We need them. We're not supposed to be sheep forever. We're not supposed to be sheep forever. We're not. But if it's up to the business, we're supposed to be sheep till we die. Come on now. Please go back to Elder Kirk's teaching about the sheep. Learn a lot. We need to accept the building as a business and stop acting like the building is the hospital that way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. That was the original plan, okay? But it's not now because business, and as Elder Kirk has said before, Roman Catholic turned it around, they changed it, a lot of stuff. Do your studies, understand exactly what you are truly doing. When you understand what you're truly doing and what's really going on, you'll get off the hamster wheel. Get off the hamster wheel, y'all. Get off of it. Stop letting these pastors get on here and start telling y'all all this stuff that you done heard for all these years and just trying to tell you in another way. That's pretty good. I like that. I think I'll mess with you. Guess what? You are now under subjection of another person again. Don't get free and then get back in bondage. If I'm truly set free and free indeed, then why am I in bondage? You're not in bondage. You just don't want to be obedient. You're not doing. That's because I done gave you too much authority over me. You don't snap your fingers at me. I don't hear your voice in the distance. You're not Jesus. We've given the pastors given these gifts too much power over us, y'all. That gift is temporary, supposed to be there for a little bit, then we move on, then we take over. But they reign and rule in our lives for about 50 to 60 years. And we never get to our fullest potential. Now, hold on now. Now, some leadership, they do that. Don't get me wrong. Some leadership does that. They elevate them and they move them on and they say, make sure I get my stipend. Make sure when you do the building and everything. Make sure you send your tithes to me. Okay, yeah. You understand? Come on now. I just feel so bad when people that were, let's say, people that were really on that road to doing what God wants, but then they just give in. I did a teaching on this a while ago, and I said, when you're when your heart is truly